Welcome, tech enthusiasts and nature lovers. Today we're diving into a world where Silicon Valley meets the Serengeti. Tom, are you ready to track some bites in the wild?
Absolutely, Mark. I've got my digital binoculars ready. Let's see if we can spot the elusive AI in its natural habitat.
Perfect. Today's episode is all about automated species identification and tracking. It's like Pokémon Go, but for actual animals and with real-world impact. We'll explore how AI is revolutionizing wildlife conservation, making David Attenborough's job both easier and harder at the same time. So, Tom, imagine you're a wildlife researcher. Instead of spending months in the field trying to spot a rare snow leopard, you can now use AI-powered camera traps that do the spotting for you. It's like having thousands of interns working 24/7, except they never complain about the coffee.
That's fascinating, Mark. So these AI systems are essentially turning our planet into a giant, ethical surveillance state for animals? Big Brother is watching you for conservation.
Exactly. And it's not just camera traps. We're talking drones, satellites, and even smartphones. It's like we've given Mother Nature her own Instagram, and AI is the influencer analyzing all the posts.
I can see how this would be a game changer. But how accurate are these AI wildlife paparazzi? I mean, I still struggle with Face ID on my phone sometimes.
Great question, Tom. These systems use deep learning techniques, particularly convolutional neural networks. They're incredibly accurate, often surpassing human capabilities. It's like having a wildlife expert with photographic memory and superhuman vision working 24/7. Now let's dive into how this tech is making a real difference. Tom, have you ever tried counting fish in the ocean?
Only in my fishbowl at home, Mark. I imagine it's slightly more challenging in the actual ocean.
Just a tad, but AI is now analyzing underwater footage to identify and track fish species. It's like having a marine biologist who can hold their breath indefinitely.
That's incredible. So we're getting data on population dynamics and coral reef health without needing an army of scuba divers?
Exactly. And it's not just about counting. These systems can track movement patterns, identify critical habitats, and even detect potential disease outbreaks. It's like giving ecologists a crystal ball, but one powered by data and algorithms instead of mystical energy. Now, Tom, as much as we'd like to think this technology is all rainbows and butterflies, which it can actually track, by the way, there are some challenges and ethical considerations we need to address.
Let me guess. We're not just dealing with fuzzy photos of Bigfoot anymore?
Afraid not. While these systems are incredibly accurate, they can be affected by factors like image quality and environmental conditions. It's like trying to use Face ID on your phone while wearing a Halloween mask. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
I see. And I imagine there are concerns about data privacy and potential misuse.
Absolutely. We need to ensure that this wealth of wildlife data doesn't fall into the wrong hands. Imagine if poachers got access to real-time locations of endangered species. It would be like giving Lex Luthor Superman's home address. Tom, let's take a moment to map out this AI-powered conservation landscape using a Wardley map. If we look at the value chain, we start with the wildlife at the top, then move down through data collection, AI processing, and finally to conservation strategies.
Interesting. And how would you position these elements on the evolution axis?
Great question. Wildlife itself is in the genesis stage. It's constantly evolving and unpredictable. Data collection methods like camera traps are in the custom-built phase, while AI algorithms are rapidly moving from product to commodity. Conservation strategies, interestingly, span from genesis to custom-built, depending on the specific approach.
Fascinating. So what does this map tell us about the future of AI in conservation?
It suggests that the real innovation opportunity lies in creating integrated, predictive conservation platforms. As AI and data collection become more commoditized, the competitive advantage will be in how we use these tools to develop novel, effective conservation strategies. Well, Tom, we've tracked this topic from the digital savanna to the depths of the ocean. It seems AI is becoming the David Attenborough of the digital age, minus the soothing voiceovers.
Indeed, Mark. Who knew that teaching machines to play I Spy could have such a profound impact on conservation? It's clear that the future of wildlife protection is looking artificially intelligent.
Absolutely. And on that note, dear listeners, it's time for us to migrate to the end of our episode. Remember, in the game of conservation, every bite counts. Until next time, keep your algorithms wild and your datasets free range.